Now, I don't know about y'all, but I really like fortune cookies. So whenever I go somewhere that has them, I ask for two. And today I got Panda Express. We have one that's crushed up, and we got another one over there. We're going to open the crushed up one first. Sometimes your ideas will come to you in the strangest of ways. Like, I was about to eat my food, and I said, Lawrence, you should do a video where you open up the fortune cookies and use whatever the fortune says and build the video around that. So, this is completely improv. You will help someone. Let me show you this. Can I get it in focus? Come on, come on, come on, do what I need you to do. Okay. I guess it doesn't want to focus, but it says you will help someone in need this week. You will help someone in need this week. Throughout our life, we're going to come across a lot of people. People on the train, people on the bus, family members, friends, classmates, coworkers. You're going to come across a lot of people this week. And I genuinely believe that each and every one of us has some sort of gift that can help others. Maybe you're really good at cooking. Maybe you know something about, let me try to think of something. Maybe you know something about sports or you inspire somebody like what I do. I'm a youth empowerment speaker. And I've spent the last 4 years specializing in helping teen and young adults build self love, confidence, and a positive outlook on life, which really does help people. It's a really rewarding career, and you get to help people realize that they matter, that no matter what the world says about them, no matter what their friends say about them, hey, sometimes it's even about what we say of ourselves. Unfortunately, a lot of us are our own biggest hater. A lot of us are the reason why we're stuck because we keep holding ourselves back. We keep limiting ourselves. We think there's nothing I know that can help somebody. I'm just little old me. But little old you has overcome something. You know a piece of information. You have a skill set. You have a talent. You have some sort of ability that can help others in need. Even if it's as simple as you go give a homeless person $2. Even if it's as simple as you hug your family member. Even if it's that simple, you're helping somebody in need. Now, the next one, let's see what we got here. Fortune cookie number two. Embrace change with open arms. There's a lot of changes that happen. You meet new people, you have breakups, you travel, you expand, and you try new things. But if you're not willing to embrace change, you're always going to stay stuck. The only guarantee in life is that we will be born, we will die, and things will happen. Those are the guarantees. We don't know exactly what will happen, when it'll happen, where it'll happen, why or how, but we know change will happen. And if you get stuck in this, in one way of thinking, in one way of living, in one way of being, you're going to end up stagnant. Ooh, my throat just closed up right there. You're going to end up stagnant. You're going to end up stuck. And being stuck mentally, being stuck physically, being stuck in life is not a place you want to be. That's how people dreams get killed. That's how people lose hope. That's how people forget who they are. That's how people forget what they are, what they're capable of, what they're going to achieve, and what they were put on this earth to do. When you're not willing to embrace the changes that life throws at you, when you're not willing to, with open arms, embrace it. Because it does not say embrace change, it says embrace change with open arms. Welcome the change, allow it to happen, allow that person to come into your life, allow that opportunity, allow your potential to shine, allow that gift, that talent to be developed. Even though it's different, even though it's hard, even though it's changed, even though it's different, it's worth it. End of this month, I'm actually taking a flight to do a show. Well, not a show, a podcast. And this is different. I've never been on a plane. I've never, done that. I've never flown to do a podcast. I've traveled to do speeches, but I've never flown for a podcast. And I'm gonna be there for 3 days. It's gonna be fantastic. Different state, different people, different opportunities. There's so much change that is taking place in my life. There's so many things coming. There's so many opportunities that are coming into my life, and I have to be willing to welcome that. I have to be willing to allow change to happen. And when we think of change, we often, our mind can go to like bad things, but there's a lot of good changes that can happen. There's a lot of things such as you become healthier, you become smarter, you graduate, you get out of high school and, oh my God, this big world. That's how it was for me. I got out of high school and I immediately hopped into a full-time job doing door-to-door solar. I had a plan. I knew what I was going to do and I executed the plan. But a lot of people, when they graduate, it's so different. Like, you're used to this routine. You're used to go here at this time to this class, do this, follow this step, do this, don't do that, walk this way, talk this way, etc., etc. And then you end up going to college. And a lot of people, they go to college not to get a degree, not for the experience of college, but because they're so used to the routine of school that they go to college to keep the routine. And then they get out of college 4 years later, and now they're like 24, 20. Well, depends on when you go in, like 22, 24, and it depends if you're getting like a PhD or a bachelor's or master's or whatever. But a lot of people that go to college because they're afraid of the big world. They're afraid of embracing change. They're afraid of taking life in their own hands because school gives you this routine, it gives you this pattern, it gives you something laid out, and you just follow the instructions. But once you go out there and you decide, okay, I'm going to go get a job, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, I'm going to live life on my terms, I'm going to be the one in charge of making sure I get out of bed in the morning. I'm going to be the one in charge of making sure I get my work done. I'm going to be the one in charge of making sure I manage my money right, making sure I manage my health, relationships, etc., etc. That's a lot of change. That's different. And if you run from change, you will run from opportunities. If you run from change, you will run from good relationships. Because a lot of people, they get so used to bad relationships, they get so used to cheating, they get so used to toxicity that when they see something positive, when they see something good, when they see something healthy, they're like, ah, it's scary because it's different. But if you aren't willing to embrace change with open arms, you're going to keep yourself from changing from a bad situation to a good situation. You're going to run from changing from unhealthy to healthy, from not knowing to knowing, from fear to confidence, from insecurity and lack and poverty to abundance. You have to be willing to embrace change with open arms. And going back to that first fortune cookie, this is how I help people. Even if only one person sees this video, even if 50 see this video, however many, this is how I give back to the world. This is how I help people to change their mindset, to go from fear and doubt and lack and I can never to I know I can, to I did it, to I'm capable, to look at this achievement I made, to look at how much I've grown, look at how much I've developed. This is how I help. This is how I give back to the world. And if that's something you're interested in, you can click the top link in the description to register for my next event. We're going to be talking about breaking limiting beliefs and how to go from I can't to I am, I did it, I'm capable, I know I can, to I'll never be the first millionaire in my family, to I'm already on the way. It's in the process, it's happening. To go from I can never to I did. Hit that link in the top description. If you're a podcast host or a school principal and you're interested in having me on your podcast or bringing me in for a speaking engagement, I'm also referring to youth organizations, so think YMCAs, NAMIs. If it got anything to do with the betterment of teens and young adults, email Lawrence@Lawrencecharris.com. Lastly, if you'd like to buy my book on Amazon, link in the description, as well as my Cash App in case you just want to support. In case you just want to support, leave a generous donation. You can do that as well. Have a wonderful, blessed day.